everybody, I'm KK.
Christy.
Together we are K and K Crochet. And welcome into the channel. We want to give an update. Remember a while ago I had talked about blankets and how it seemed to be all I could do this year and things I was working on. So I'm going to give you an update on what I've done with that. And we started talking about a lap can, which was to donate to the nursing home or to a local auction. I wasn't sure yet what was going to happen. It's probably going to go to the nursing home, but it is finished. This is Red Heart. You can't see it all, obviously, but this is Red Heart Ombre in the purple and violet or something like that. I don't know. But it turned out really pretty. I will say this last round is not Red Heart Ombre. That is, I believe that's a mainstay purple, and I just thought it brought it all together a little better, and so I put that on there.
Gave it a finishing color.
Yep. Well, actually, what happened was, this is one skein and then the second skein, and when I got down to the end of the second skein, it was probably 3/4 around of the last row, and so I had to rip that out because I didn't want to go into a new skein just for that, and so I put one of this on the edge, and I believe it turned out to be like 35 by 36 inches. I know that's not exactly the right dimensions for one, but it's close enough because most of the people that will be receiving these are probably in wheelchairs, and I don't want them to catch on their wheelchairs. Okay, so then I told you that I was working on a blanket for my husband's coworker in Dark Orchid, and I was trying to do the stitch that creates 2 rows of double crochet with 1 pass. First of all, it started out as this color with this Red Heart Ombre, and it was a C to C, and I ripped it out. I didn't like it. I didn't like this colorway and that stitch pattern at all, so I ripped it out. Then I started with the Dark Orchid, which is this color, in the two double crochet stacked on top of each other in one swipe. I need lots of practice with that in order to get the hook into the right position every time. There's a certain stitch you have to go up underneath, and a certain part of the stitch, and it was pulling and tugging in certain areas and leaving gaps just because I haven't practiced that stitch enough. It's the first time I'd ever done it, and I was getting aggravated trying to make sure that it was consistent. And you know, anytime you start a new stitch, then you have to work on your consistency, and it just wasn't, I wasn't happy. So I went back to the stitch from the first time I did it, but the
Ombre.
the color from the second time I did it, and I put those together, and that's what came up with the third time, and the third time's the charm. So this is where I'm at. Ignore this stitch, the progress keeper. That's where I was at one day when I was measuring. But if you lift, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Pull. That's the corner that way. Okay. So this is where I'm at. Look that way. And we're doing C to C, or I'm doing C to C. And so I'm quite happy with it. I'm happy with the way it looks. I'm happy with the colorway. I'm very, very happy. If you saw on Facebook, or not Facebook, on the community page, probably on Facebook too, I posted a picture when I had just started. And so I'm pretty far. I'm almost to the turning point where I start to decrease down the one side. I think it's at about 42 or 43 inches now. I'm trying to decide what's the perfect size for a throw size for somebody. Let me know in the description or the comments down below what you think. What is the perfect size for just a basic throw that you're going to give somebody, or a smaller blanket? I'm thinking it's going to be like 48 by 50 something, but I'm not sure. I'm just measuring by as I go along. I'm putting it across my lap and seeing where I would be comfortable with it. Of course, I like a big old blanket, and I'm really hoping that it's not going to be a super huge blanket. Number one, I don't want it to be difficult for him to wash, and number two, you know, I don't want it to take forever because I have other blankets to take care of too. And I haven't touched my other blankets, by the way. They've been on hiatus since like March or April. May, something like that. I really need to get back to them. I think it's probably like March, I don't know. But this one, I really like the way it's turning out, and looking forward to having it finished. And so as it goes, you know, this is 2 skeins already, and I'm getting ready to go into the third one, and I haven't begun to decrease yet. So, but hopefully I'll begin to decrease pretty soon. I've been working towards that goal to at least get this one to the decrease point, and then I can breathe a little bit because I'll know it's not quite halfway there, because when it decreases on one side, if it's 48 inches wide, of course I'll have to continue without decreasing and continue increasing on the downward part of a C to C. If you've done that before, you understand that you have to keep making it grow down the one side to make it longer. So for probably, you know, at least 4 or 5 more rows. I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, that's where we stand with the blankets, and I have one more blanket I want to make for me, and while I was making this one I thought of 3 or 4 other people I'd like to make blankets for, but at the beginning when I started Santa's Workshop this year and I said how many people I wanted to make things for, I knew in my mind I would like to make blankets for all those people, but I also knew that in a year's time I would probably get tired of that. So I did decide that I would only do certain ones this year, and Chris and I were talking earlier and she said, well, just decide that this year you're doing these and then next year you'll do those for the other people. And I think that may be where I'm at. I don't know. We'll see what kind of time I have left. I'm enjoying working on blankets, which is not normal for me. How about you?
I don't know. The big blanket is kind of making blankets grow on me a little bit.
Yeah, it is something I think like with the mood blanket, which she stayed with it because we've been doing the videos, so she had to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say that's the only reason, but that has helped, I think.
Yeah,
and so with me knowing I'm held accountable to show you guys my progress, which I know you guys don't care, like if I decide not to do it, I know, you know what I mean. I know you care, but I know it's not going to be the end of the world if I stop doing a project is what I mean. But it also keeps me on track, and I'm really, really super happy with this one. I love this color. This is, if I didn't say, this is Red Heart Dark Orchid. Yeah. It is the most beautiful plum purple I've ever seen, and this does not do it justice because that looks like mainstay purple, and it is not. It is a dark plum. It is absolutely gorgeous purple. So that's where I stand with blankets right now. Like I said, I have a blanket I want to do for me. I have a blanket and a tote that I'm working on for a friend that I need to get back to, I'm halfway done with it. I got to the halfway point and quit. So I didn't quit. It's just every week I'm like, oh, I'll get to that eventually. I'll get to that eventually. And eventually it's turned into months without me touching it. And I think what happened is it got so big that by the time it gets so big, it's so hot in the summer to have to work with them. Yeah. But I do need to get back to it because I need to get it completed and off the hook so that I can move on to something. So I can move on to my blanket. My blanket is a Christmas blanket. Put a guess down below what you think is on my blanket, my Christmas blanket. I'm not sure any of you could guess because I don't know that I've mentioned this particular thing about Christmas that I really, really love. So, did I? Don't give any hints. Don't give hints. Put a question. Put a guess down below in the comments what you think my Christmas blanket looks like. What do you think is part of my Christmas blanket? I'll be interested to see what your answers are. Don't forget to be kind.
2 answers actually.
It could be lots of answers. There could be a lot of things, but we'll see who can guess it. Don't forget to be kind because you don't
know anybody else's journey.
That's right. Have a blessed day. Bye.
Bye.